So here I'm just going to be talking about kind of my placement, what has gone on with the placement, the classes for the past few weeks, and just like my overall feelings. Just last week I was doing my placement and no one actually showed up to it, which I think like bummed me out a little bit, and I was a little worried that it was like my fault that this kind of happened. Um, so after talking to Kathy and stuff like that, I understand that it's not my fault that they didn't show up, but it still kind of stung a little bit just to think like, oh, they didn't want to come today or whatever happened. It ended up happening that one of them just forgot, and I totally understand that things happen. Just life gets in the way, but it'd be nice to know in advance if something's up and stuff like that. Um, but this week it ended up turning out all right. I only had one person show up out of the usual three, and that's okay. Things happen once again. I'm not going to take it personally. And we just enjoyed ourselves. I was able to do what I had planned last week, this week, which was nice. So I was still able to create that lesson plan and actually implement the lesson plan and see how things go, what I had to change and stuff. Like some things were obviously hard because this is still like their first time having an online guitar lesson. And for me, it's the first time teaching over Zoom. So it's obviously hard making sure that they can actually see what I'm playing, where I'm placing my fingers. If I'm like, oh, you need to place it here, like I have to bring up the guitar to them. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it in that sense, like knowing that maybe they can't see it and I have to like maneuver it a little bit, or if I'm sharing my screen, making sure that it's like close enough so that they can look off of whatever device that they're using. And yeah, and I think I want to continue. I'm going to continue with what I've been doing, but we started working on a little bit of chords and realizing that like some of the songs that we're playing, you can actually make the shape of the chord that it tells you and still be able to pluck the melody of the notes and like while reading like the tabs and stuff, which I think they're starting to get the hang of. And hopefully, we can continue with that in the next coming weeks and add maybe just playing chords and switching back and forth. And yeah, and like just like seeing where that takes us, what they like doing better, because of course, I want what's best for them, like what they want to learn, because there is no like set curriculum or anything. It's me creating whatever I want to create kind of thing. So I want them to be able to enjoy and learn what they want to learn, so they can take something away from this, and actually learn something and enjoy what they're doing and want to continue with this sort of thing. So I'm hoping that this sort of program can continue to happen. Um, Hopefully, someone else in the next year's placement, in the next year's community music class, decides to do and be a part of this placement, because it is a wonderful experience. And just being able to learn about these people, like these different people and like the students, and why they really wanted to learn to play the guitar and why they felt like, oh yeah, I can do this. And yeah, it's it's interesting to me because I am able to see these people grow and like almost be able to see the light bulb go off in their head. Especially 2 weeks ago when we were doing scales, and one of them was having trouble and like couldn't really like didn't really understand how it was going. And then after this one scale that we did, it just like clicked in his head and he was flying through them after, because we realized it was just a pattern pretty much for all of them, just obviously starting on different strings and ending on different strings. And now he is just picking up these songs so quickly, and like he just, I don't really need to like make sure that he's like obviously I'm making sure that he's doing it correctly and stuff, but like he's just flying through them, and it's amazing to see just like real like him just having that realization to be able to just go through these songs so quick and understand them a lot better and be able to like know what they're supposed to sound like and stuff, because obviously with tabs you're only getting like what notes to play and not when to play them or for how long and stuff like that. So we're also trying to learn songs that he might already know, and yeah, it's really nice to see and really refreshing to see him like understand and like be able to get the hang of it and like want to continue and like is practicing all the time. Like he has books and stuff for it. He obviously has his own guitar and stuff. So I can tell that he's going outside of class as well and learning. And then so that was really nice. And then just these past couple weeks in class have been really engaging, and I've always felt as though like um, I have a purpose being there. And I'm always learning something, and I'm always finding out something new that maybe someone else is experiencing, and like how to like talk about it and talk through those things. I've had some really interesting conversations with different classmates and different colleagues in the class, and I am like, it's like I don't want to say like refreshing again, but it is, because with this pandemic, it's hard to talk to people about like different topics in this situation, especially if they're not in your household and stuff. And going back or like being able to go into the classroom and just like be able to turn to the person next to you and have a really meaningful conversation that you can take on with you forever is like really important for us to have. And I was so thankful that we were able to have that. And I got to hear other people's opinions on things. And like when Kathy would give us like a little prompt on the board, like everybody would kind of have their own little tangent of like what it means to them to think that, and like we could bounce ideas off of each other and like really get to a deeper level than maybe just like the baseline answer that she was looking for maybe. So I'm really excited to see where this like kind of goes and like progresses, even though we only do have a couple more classes left. But I just want to be able to continue with these deep conversations that allow us to think critically and reflect on how we're feeling, and maybe some of our thoughts before are now changing because of this, and like our ways of thinking to help the students in the classroom can change, and we can be more open and honest with them when helping them with stuff. And yeah, I just am ready to continue on this journey of learning, and learning about other people, learning about the way that they think, and like learning really about myself and like how I think and how I act and can act and should act. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go.